In this episode, I'm going to show you just how I installed these sleepers. They can transform your garden space to hold flowers, to hold fences up like this, but also to grow vegetables. They can really enhance your garden space to make them absolutely epic. This is going to be the perfect DIY garden project for you. Next up, what I'm going to do is just get this filled with pea gravel. Right, that's all done and sorted, happy with that. Next up is these. So these are my posts for my sleepers for the retaining wall. So there's going to be 3 against this wall, and then there's going to be 1 in the middle there, and there's going to be 1 on the corner, which is going to be over there, which is going to be a bit tricky, but we'll sort it. So what I'm doing, I'm using this Run Seal direct to metal paint with a 15-year protection guarantee. We'll see. Recommends 2 coats. These did already have red oxide on, so I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work on that, but we'll see. I wanted a matte black finish. I was going to use hammerite, but the matte black finish they do isn't particularly matte, and it hasn't got very good reviews. This has got very good reviews, so, and it's matte. That's what I want. I've got to get these coated up tonight because I'm going to be installing them tomorrow, so I want to make sure that it's fully dry. You can see they've already had a coat, so I'm just going to get 1 more coat on these, and then in the morning they'll be ready to drop in the holes. One of many holes that have got to be dug, but I've got a special tool that I cannot wait to show you, so watch this space and you'll see that bad boy in action. But for now, it's getting late, so I really need to get these painted. Let's do it. They've all had 2 coats on, covered really well, which I'm happy with. If you ever have a fly problem in your house, use this paint because flies seem to love it. There's one over there, flying around, about to die. Silly flies.
Shoo fly, don't bother me.
So it's the morning after the late night of painting, and we've got lots to do today. So I've got a little helper today, and we are just going to basically get all these edges cleaned off along here. We're going to get some of this MOT removed down the back. You can see I've just started chipping away there, and then what that's going to enable us to do is to get our sleepers in. So we need to get these brackets in here, and we'll work out our measurement from the fence to make sure we've got a nice parallel border all the way down, and then we're going to drill some holes and get these bedded in like I mentioned before. I've got the laser set up ready over to there, so we can take some datum points from basically 2 courses below damp there, which will be the finish level of the tile, and then I would like these to sit 30mm below that point there, so that means that the sleepers are just below the surface of the tile, and then they're off the ground kind of, so it's going to hopefully increase the life of them. I have painted the bitumen on the bottom of them. I just don't want them to sit above the tile because I think it might look a bit odd, and also because there's going to be a fall on the tiles as well to allow for the rainwater to go into the slot drain. It's just going to be a bit awkward, so sitting at 30mm below will just make sure it covers nicely. The grass will sit up to it nicely when the grass is in here, and yeah, hopefully just be a nice little finish. So we're going to get all these edges cleared off, get everything out of the way, and then we can set up ready for this. Got the MOT out of the way here, dug a little channel. I've just set up the laser over there and just checked our datum points around here, and I have realised that we are very low along this back edge. Originally I was going to return the sleepers in about here, but I've decided to just go straight away across. Just easier, and it'd just be a nicer finish I think. When we're putting the pergola in here and putting the back panel up, it will make it easier because I can probably just sit it straight on the sleepers. But what I have realised is this is very low across here. So what we're going to do is basically insert some of this pipe like we've done previously with the sleeper installs. We'll just use some of this pipe, cut it off to a nominal amount, whatever we decide, and then basically dig some holes and then bury the pipe in the ground with some of the pipe sticking up out of the ground here. Then we can fill that with concrete, and that will raise our level up. Because our little brackets here only have a small amount of rebar on the bottom, we haven't got a lot of flexibility, because obviously we want as much rebar as possible to provide enough stability. So we need to make sure it's going to be somewhere up here. So obviously you can see the rebar is just going to be floating. So by doing the height scenario, that's going to make sure that we can lift this up enough to where we want it to be, and it makes our life easy. Right, so we've got everything stringed out. We've got our points across here. So from this point here back, we can just use a smaller hole and we can directly concrete these into the ground. But from that point backwards, there's a few down there and around this side as well. We're going to have to use some of the 4-inch pipe, mount that in the ground, and then put our brackets in that. So onto the piece de resistance, my new little tool that I bought. It's not really new, it's not really little either, sorry. It's this. Makita hole auger. He says you've got to turn it on first. This is brilliant. So there's going to be probably about 30 odd holes that I need to dig in here, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to bite the bullet and buy one of these instead. Just makes life a lot easier. I've always wanted one, and this was my perfect excuse. Basically, I've got this one which is an 80mm, and I've also got a 150mm auger bit as well, powered by two 18V batteries, so it's 36V in total, and it's a beast. This ground is like solid clay, but this just tears through it. It gives you a perfect round hole, so we can literally just then fill that with concrete and then tap our little bracket in, and we're golden. Right, got lots more holes to dig, let's do it. Okay, so we've got 4-inch pipes in our little places where we need them. The rest of them, like I mentioned up there, we don't need to put those in because of the height. We'll be fine. And the rebar on our little brackets, which is out there, will go in nicely. These just need a bit of extra height, so we're just going to get these filled up with concrete. Right, so these are all in now. You can see what I was talking about, hopefully, with my little bits of wood underneath. So this is just to hold the bracket in place so it doesn't wobble around anywhere while it's going off, and then that holds it at the perfect height we need. So we know that I could just whack them in and then that's it, job done. These ones over here, I have to like get those exactly where I need them to be. So I just had the laser level on top, wiggled them around, got them to the string line, and then they're bang on. So I'm really happy with how these are turned out. This looks nice and straight as well. The line's very good down there. So now I'm just doing this one across here. You've seen me using this whole auger bit. I'm wow chuffed, money well spent. It's made my life so much easier. It took me like 5 minutes to dig these 4 holes, whereas with a shovel it would have taken a lot longer. So definitely worth the money. I'm just gonna get these ones done. Again, same sketches over here. This ground is really low here, so I'm gonna have to put the pipe in each of those 4 holes. Then I can mix myself up a bit more concrete, get those in, and then we can start looking at sleepers, because this is probably, yeah, this is near enough gone off now. It's a really good rapid set for situations like this when you're desperate to get stuff done quickly. It is good, but it turns like that, so you've got to be on it and just mix up enough, the amount that you need, because otherwise you're going to be left with a big chunk of it in your wheelbarrow. Right, get some more of these pipes cut and then we can get going, get them in. So I've got my last little posts in now. You can see all these all lined up ready. So just to reiterate what I've done, so I've got my parallel from here, from my fence, measured that out, set my string line. So my string line is now parallel to my fence, which means that when I put my sleepers in, obviously it's parallel. Self-explanatory, but you never know. So once I've done that, I've then marked on the floor where I want the back of this to be. So that will effectively be the back of my sleeper, and that leaves enough room then for my French drain to go down the back here. Then using my auger bit, you could use a shovel or whatever you've got at your disposal to make a hole in there. I've then got some 4-inch underground pipe, which is here, and then buried that in the ground, literally because of my auger bit, it's perfect size to just tap this straight in. Then afterwards you can see it's a nice snug fit right the way around that, which is brilliant. And then I've set my laser to basically accommodate these bits of wood and that, which gives me this point here, which is the bottom of my sleeper, and that means then I've got my 30mm below the level that I need to be at, which is bang on and beautiful, just what I want. Just to show you the end product, what I'm sort of getting at. So I've just got these sat on here. You can see they are off the ground, but obviously there's a lot of ground to make up. I wanted to have quite a bit of makeup on here because this is all going to be turf, and I want to make sure that drainage isn't an issue because this clay is solid. So there's not a lot of water going to go through there very easily. So by giving myself plenty of makeup and doing the holes that I mentioned earlier, this grass will have the best possible chance. So why I've done this first and this way round is basically so I know exactly where my sleepers are going to sit, because getting these steels in place here is obviously crucial. They need to be bang on, because what I don't want to do is just plant them all in and then come to slot my sleepers in and they don't fit. So I'm just going to do sort of a dry run like this. I'm going to get my corner one set here, which is there, and once I've got that in, I then know exactly where my corner piece here is going to be, so I can get that bedded in and done and dealt with. And then once I've got that in, I can then move down to here and then start getting these uprights in here, because it is, like I say, it's pretty crucial. And it's all well and good just measuring, but it's better to have the actual physical sleeper there in place, so you can physically go, right, that's where it needs to be, mark it, drill it, fit it in, job done. So I've just got a bit more concrete to mix up now, just to get around that one and the 4 over there. While that's going off, so I can start getting these ones drilled then, and then we can get them in, and hopefully by sort of end of play today I'll have all those in, and then tomorrow I can start getting these sleepers dropped in, which will be a massive milestone. And we can get French drain in and start backfilling, and then I'm happy then. That's a bit of a weight off my mind, because you can see the ground starting to crack and whatever here, and obviously we've got this, so I want to make sure everything is nice and solid and buttressed up. Right then, now that all of my little posts are in, I'm moving on to the steels. So I've got this one here. This is the big boy, the corner post, which is always going to be a bit of a nightmare. I've got my sleepers there, and I've basically sat 3 on top of each other. Those 2 there were sat on top of this, which gave me the overall height that I needed. It will enable me then to line it up with where I need to be with these brackets at the back. And then I've also held my level across from this point to that post there, made sure at 90 degrees. So then this gives me the overall position of this. I also then use the laser on top of the 3 sleepers to give me the overall height of this, and then I've lasered that. I have put a couple of broken bits of slab in the bottom just to get me bang on to the height I need to be at. And then what I'm going to do now is just basically mass fill this with concrete up to here, basically up to the ground level, and then that will be nice and solid. I've got well over, well, at least sort of 600mm in the ground and 600mm above, which is what's recommended. So half goes in the ground, half goes above. Whatever height you go up to with something like this, you need to have the same height in the ground, just to stop any lateral forces pushing against it. So that's it. I'm going to get this bad boy concreted in. Once that's gone off, then I can move on to the next ones. Hopefully by underplay today I'll be down there somewhere. It's in. That is it. Loads of concrete in there. That is going absolutely nowhere. I'm very happy with how this has turned out. We are bang on level this way. Look at that, beautiful. When the ground level comes up as well, it'll be up to about here, so this will be well over halfway buried in the floor as is required. I'm going to just wait for this to go off. It's, like I say, it's rapid set, so this will be like half an hour max. And then what I can do then is start looking at this one here, because I can push this into that steel right up, and then I can mark where I need to be, get my hole dug using this bad boy, and then take this out of the way, get this up right in, and just work my way across basically. Easy as that. Right, let's carry on. If you've watched this channel before, you know that I am an advocate of Makita tools, and this bad boy is no exception. I'm very happy that I invested in this, because that has just made light work of this hole here. Perfect size as well, just to slot this straight in. We're pretty much level, plumb, everything where we need to be, the right height for there. It's just made my life a lot easier. I've been digging that for about 20 minutes or so at least, probably, and it would have been a bigger hole, because there's no way I would have physically got a hole that size. The only one downside, which obviously I wasn't expecting it to be like a miracle worker, but when it hits stones, it doesn't like stones, so I have had to get the grafting shovel in there and just pry some of the stones out of the way. But then once they're out of the way, it just flies straight through. It's brilliant, really good. Even with this solid clay, it's just going straight through. So this one over here is nearly dry. It's getting there, it's nearly done. About another 5 minutes or so and that'll be solid. So then once that's solid and in, I can then just put my sleeper back on these, so I know that this is exactly in the right place, and then get that one concreted in. And then once that's in, next one, next one, next one, done. Easy as that. Got our 3 sections in here, which is looking very good. I'm very happy with how it's turned out. Definitely the right decision going for the matte on the uprights rather than the shiny. I think that looks good. We're debating, you can see the colour we're going to have on the fence. It is herring grey, which is very nice. Just wanted to brighten it up a bit because these panels are a bit shabby and don't look great. So yeah, these have only had 1 coat for now, but we are debating on painting these concrete posts black as well. Don't know whether to, but we'll see. We probably will, because it will just match in with this nicely and just make it look a bit fresher. Next up, what we've got to do is sort this corner out. I've got 1 more hole to dig there, but I can't do that until I've sorted this corner out and I know exactly where this one is going to land. It's not a 90-degree angle, as you can clearly see here, so what I'm going to do is get my bevel set up and I'm just going to work this angle out. What I'm actually going to do is stagger the joints here. I'm just going to do a butt joint, but I'm going to do them lapping, so this one will butt in this way, and then the following one will butt in the opposite way, and then the following one will butt in that way. Does that make sense? It will. I'm going to show you. Basically, this corner, I haven't got any additional support like these steels or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is do this butt joint like that, and then I can screw everything through from different angles, and then if there is any force against the back, it will just push against it and out this way, and everything will sort of lock tightly together and stop any movement. And then once that's all sorted, I can then move on just to get this post in here, and then these last few, and then this is done for now. Once that's all done, obviously there's more processes to get on with just to finish this wall off totally, but yeah, that's basically the worst bit done once I've got these last few bits sorted out today. Right, so what I've done here is just basically mitered this joint. It's just a butt miter. I've just literally laid one across, marked out where this other one comes, just held it roughly up to it, held my level on the front across to get my angle here, and then just transferred that onto a bevel, and then again transferred that onto my chop saw. So that's the effect. So the next one now is going to sit on top of that, so it will lap this way, and then this sleeper here will butt up to it, and then the other one, the one on top, will be exactly the same as the one on the bottom. I've then also just fixed it in the back with a few screws just to hold it. Everything will be nice and tight when it's all together, and obviously you've got the pressure of the earth behind it pushing against it, so it will just lock it all in nicely. I've got this last post in as well, that's concreted in now, ready to rock and roll. So all I've got to do is just get these last few cut, and then this one, these are just full length ones here. Let's get cut in. This one at the bottom here comes all the way through like this to the back, and then we cut this one to fit into it. Then this one here, this next one, the second one, this one comes all the way through to the back, and then this one has been cut into it. Basically all I've done to get my angle, because I've already got my brackets in down here, I literally just had a level against like so. I just packed this one up slightly so it was just basically flat across like that, and then just do that, and then that gives you your angle then, the exact angle that you need to cut, because it's only a butt joint. If it was a mitre, you'd have to dissect the corner and do all sorts of stuff like that, but it's a garden and you're actually never going to see this because it's going to be behind the shed. So yeah, and then the top one is literally just going to fit like this. So this one's overcut to the back here, and then this other one will just slot straight in here. I've been fixing them in the back like that, 3 fixings in each one, so they're nice and solid. And like I say, once this is all backfilled anyway, it's going to push against it and just knit everything together tightly. That is exactly how we're doing it. Right, so you can now see how easily they went in, but also how I'm using it. So I've got a nice little area here for some plants, just to make it look nice and pretty. And then over here, I've got an area for some veg that I'm growing currently as well. So using these sleepers can literally transform your garden and just give you this little space of versatility and tranquility and sustainability. So they're all good, all the abilities, it's great. Right guys, in the next episode I'm going to be showing you how we get the patio down. We'll start to lay the slabs at least, and also I'll be showing you the structure of the pergola. It's going to be somewhere where I can just sit down and chill out at night, relax and unwind after a tiring day doing all this. Right guys, if you have liked this video, give us a big thumbs up and also subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care guys.